Well, I'm glad you got here.
I know how to find this place.
You do.
It's been many decades of being down here. I was here every day, 3 times a day
I know that.
for years.
We've got all our friends back, Guy. So we're going to get to you and your questions and your life and what you're doing now, the great Guy Leech is doing. So I'm going to ask right from the back. What's Guy Leech doing?
Still fit, still doing my fitness. I train every day.
I see you on the harbour with your teams of ski paddlers.
Yeah, we paddle out the back here. Just, it's funny, right, with fitness, then that the older you get, the more it's less about trying to win stuff now. It's more about just being able to do it every day.
Yeah.
So I do combine and have a variety of training that I do, so that you don't get injured and you can do something every day. So I'll bike ride one day, paddle the next, go to the gym another day. Pilates.
A guy started a podcast himself, and we're happy to promote his podcast because it's about longevity. It's a podcast where the guy will fill you in on what he does and what he teaches and explains to his viewers. Yeah,
it's called the Longevity Lounge. And so when I turned 60 last year, I had a natural interest in, which I think we all do, of sticking around for as long as we can. In as good a shape as we can.
Yep.
And so I thought, well, I don't know everything. I'm certainly enthusiastic about it. So if I started a podcast and invited people that knew more than I did, we'd all learn.
Yep.
And that was the concept behind the Longevity Lounge podcast series. And I've had neuroscientists on, I've had people like yourself on that are going well and are fit and healthy, doctors, scientists and everything.
You've been healthy basically all your life.
Yeah, I mean, other than the flu or the cold, but yeah.
You were an Ironman champion.
Yeah,
Christ. I mean,
fittest group in the country.
So as you're getting older, because I'm a little bit older than you, not much, but a little bit. I keep saying this. The fact is that because of your life, are you at a stage now where exercise is just a second nature to you, or is it?
So, the sports people that probably don't like doing the fitness when they compete, whether they're a footy player or whatever they are, they retire and then you see them and they're much bigger and they put on weight and everything. You think, geez, what happened to that guy? For me, the fitness side of what I did with Ironman out here was always something I loved. So when I gave up Ironman, like the fitness and doing the exercise was always part of what I wanted to do. And it gets to a point now where for me, I don't get up super early anymore. I like just getting to sleep. But I'll exercise 8:30 every morning. So the routine is, like you're saying, is it a routine? Yeah, it is. It's like brushing your teeth. I'll go and do something every morning, whether it's by myself or with friends, and it's just part of your daily thing that you do.
And that's the thing I'm getting at. You've got a particular psyche that the average person like myself hasn't got.
Yeah. So I like the exercise. A lot of people, Tony likes the exercise. A lot of people don't like doing exercise. For me, it's not just about being fit and feeling fit. It's the mental side of just going, I just feel better.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm better mentally than what I was before I did it. I feel happier. It probably gets rid of stress. Like, when you're having a shit time in life that we all go through at times, instead of going to a psych and being on a couch, for me exercise was my answer, right? It solved problems for me, So it's probably been the one constant in my life that's always been there. Has been the exercise.
I mentioned a guy weeks ago when we were having a talk about things in general. If I had a decision to make, if I had a job or a task at hand that I had to make a decision, I'd do just a gentle, soft sand jog on this beach up to Queenscliff and back. By the time I'd done that jog, just a pleasant, easy jog, I had a clarity of mind. I knew what I needed to do without questioning it. This was the decision when I walked off this beach. I made a decision to, and Guy does this every day. I do it when I need to. I wish I did it every day.
I think I need to do it too. Like when we had that chat on my podcast series, I did go away thinking there's a lot of stuff that you said about like it's helped you through your life, and if you didn't have it, you would have had more problems. And I'm thinking, well, I don't think it's any different for me. Right? Might be different circumstances, but it's the same sort of result being I'm a better person. And I'm happier if I did go and do it. So I think when you get to that point, it just means it becomes something that you just know you need. It's a powerful thing.
I kind of understand because I've seen Guy all his life in this club and at many of the Ironman events because my former son-in-law, Guy Andrews, who was a great competitor of his. And I can remember Guy Andrews and this guy Leech and Riddington, the great Craig Riddington, the final run leg on this beach in an Ironman competition one year. But just tell Vinny what you did for that first Coolangatta Gold, how tough that was, the run, the swim, the board.
Yeah, so that was a race that wasn't meant to ever happen. So the Coolangatta Gold was born out of a movie script, of an Australian movie that was put forward, that Grant Kenny, the famous Ironman in the 80s, played himself because he was so famous, and a couple of actors were in there, being the brothers that were going to take on Grant Kenny. And the problem was that the normal Ironman race at a surf carnival that went for 10 or 15 minutes wasn't big enough for the movie directors to say, we need a race at the end of this movie that's going to be so substantial and seem so huge that it's going to be the final part of the movie script. And so they thought, well, instead of just pretending it, why don't we come up with a real race, put real athletes in, we'll film the shit out of it, and then we'll pretend Grant Kenny and the actors to do the finish with some other guys, but we'll take all the footage of the real race. That became the Coolangatta Gold. So I was downstairs here in 1983 as an 18-year-old. There was a poster on the wall. And the poster said, Coolangatta Gold, Surfers Paradise to Coolangatta and back. 46 kilometres of running, swimming, board paddling and ocean ski. In January of 1984, $20,000 worth of gold for first place. Enter here. And I was like, holy shit. Oh mate, and I've just left school, I've got 20 cents to my name. And the boys are like, Ritto, and there was a whole bunch of us went, we're going to do the race. But the problem was this, you do an Ironman race out here at a surf carnival, it takes you 15 minutes to complete the course.
Yes.
This race took between 4 and 5 hours, depending on how fast you were.
It was it was murderous.
And January heat on the Gold Coast.
And you had rips and tide and wind.
And heat. So January on the Gold Coast is 35 degrees every day. And the humidity is like you are just drenched in sweat. I got up there a week before the race. I'd never been to Queensland before. I got off the plane, and that was back when you just come out and you went down the stairs onto the tarmac. And I turned to Ritto and said, holy shit, how hot's this place? And I was sweating already. I'm thinking, I'll be happy to get through the event. So that was the race. And so I turned up on the day, and because of the movie makers and the PR that they did, the whole of the Gold Coast came out to watch it. There was 250,000 people on the coast watching this fantasy race where there was 100 athletes from around the world that all competed to try to win this thing.
And he won the first one.
Yeah, I won it by a minute and a half, and that was the change of my... So you have these moments in your life, everyone does, where you can pinpoint a moment where something changes, a door changes and you go this direction. That was my pivotal moment in my life. I went from being unknown, not knowing what I was going to do in life. The sport I loved wasn't a job, and in one day I became overnight success. Professional sport was born out of it, and for the next 15 years, that was the thing I did, and it's the thing I did that I loved the most. And that was the day.
Well, Guy, I love you for coming in and doing this.
Good to be back home.
It is. I was saying that in the video earlier.
It's good to be home.
When I walk in this club, it's my home.
That's what we do.
When he says it's his home, he's not kidding.
He's got a bed over there.
Well, not only does he have a bed over there, I've also noticed he's not only been the president here 4 times, but his grandfather was the first president ever at Manly.
And Tony and I are on the board up there, and Tony's name is above mine, and I sit down below him.
But I will tell you something. When we were running the carnival here, to run a carnival, our club carnival every year, costs a bit of money in the setup in what you need to do. We lost a sponsor. I don't know how long ago it was, Guy, that you put the money up. You had that mobile phone company. You had something. I forget what it was.
We sponsored it.
And Guy's company and Guy personally sponsored the carnival. The carnival went on, and it was a great success. So I always thank you for that too.
Good on you, buddy.
Good on you, mate. Thank you, Guy. Thanks for coming.
Nice seeing you, Vinny.
Thanks very much, guys. Good to see you.
Thank you.